And we'll get mics to you. Casey, go ahead.
Lance, obviously you fouled out of Northwestern, getting foul trouble early in the first half. Is that part of the inspiration of the start of the second half? You scored 9 right away.
I just wanted to come out with the right mindset. I was well rested, picking up those 2 early ones. I just wanted to, maintain a good mindset.
For Fletcher, you guys have been really good against backcourt pressure, press, however you want to term it. Obviously, Iowa was going to do some of that today, and you almost kind of turned it on probably more often than not. Just how come you guys have been so effective against that backcourt stuff?
Yeah, obviously the addition of Lance helps. Another really good ball handler out there. It's a guy that can get by someone in space, and another guy that's also will pass it. He's not afraid to kick it ahead. He's not afraid to stay behind the ball and move it. And then when you got another ball handler, Ethan, coming off the bench, it's just 3 to 4 to 5 ball handlers out there that all can beat the press. And when you can space them out and you got a Z down low that they got to worry about, it's pretty tough for them.
Fletcher, you said Friday, if it wasn't for turnovers, only 8, and one of those was in the final minute tonight. Is this more indicative of what this team can do when you take care of the basketball?
Yeah, for sure. You see that lead from around 8 or 10 or 12 just go up to 20, then to 30. And when you're not turning the ball over, you're taking care of it, and you're out rebounding them, it's pretty easy to get those runs and get those leads up to 20 instead of back to 5.
And Ethan, when you look at this team, is this maybe the most complete performance of the season from start to finish?
Yeah, I would say so. You could throw some of those games in Maui just because they might have been a little bit closer, but I think we had some pretty complete games. But I think from a defensive standpoint, we played 2 really good halves, and we did a good job of not getting chaotic in the second half. They kind of tried to turn it up a little bit at the start, and credit to Lance, he took exactly what we said in the locker room about them coming out and pressuring, and he just flipped it on them. We just continued to get easy shots. That's a credit to our guys because, when you get a lead like that, people can get thirsty, people want to get theirs, but everybody just wanted to keep playing the right way. So it was a really good job by everybody.
Hey, Ethan, you seem very intent to drive from the wing into the paint, play inside out that way. Why was that so important against what they were doing defensively?
I just think we have so many great players on this team. Sometimes you got to make a choice. And for me, I've always been a lower volume guy, never shot it at a super high level. So if I'm not, and I'm confident, I'm going to take and make my open ones. Obviously, they didn't go in tonight for me, but, I feel good about it. But busting those guys on closeouts, there's only so much they can do, especially with Zach in the paint. So just making plays for guys and taking what they gave us. They were pretty spread out just from the press, so it was kind of there most of the night.
Ethan, question for you. Tonight you had 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 block.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of just mentioned when a team gets a big lead like that, guys kind of start hunting for their own shots. Is that where you kind of feel your role is with this team this year?
I'm just always going to make the right play and just do whatever we need. Doesn't really matter, who we're playing. I think I've shown that I can kind of fill a lot of different roles in my time here, so just being able to adapt, but just making the right plays. Like I said, we have too many good players on this team for me to not want to make plays for guys, and they do a good job of encouraging me to be aggressive too. So I'm just going to keep doing that and hopefully have more games like this.
Ethan, one more for you. You're the guy that's been around the most, been here the longest. What do you see from this team this year? It's kind of coming together now as your team.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a good group. Great addition sitting down the way. And we're just all a year older, I think, more experienced. We've been through the tough times. I think we're a little more, I don't know if relaxed is the right word, but I feel like last year, a lot of people talk about it you get so uptight after a loss. And not that you shouldn't be uptight after a loss because there's stuff you gotta fix. But it's not the end of the world. It's a long season. Basketball is a game where those type of losses are meant to happen. Obviously, you never want them to happen, but they're meant to happen. So I'm just taking it one game at a time. And we've always ultimately said, especially after last year, we want to play our best basketball in March. So this is great. Obviously, Friday wasn't so great, but we're not going to be all like, you know, high and mighty after like we beat these guys. You know, like we got to come back to work this week, and we got some big games coming up. But it's just about playing, continue to sustain this type of play into March and not fade when it gets to February and stuff like that. So.
Hey, Lance, right over here. So you're one of the newer guys, obviously, to the team, being a transfer. So Mackey is still, I guess, kind of fresh to you. What kind of impact does this have? I mean, and I'm not necessarily asking you to compare it to SIU or anything, but just the impact this has on the game with that type of environment.
I mean, having a crowd like that supports you is just top level. You know, I can't describe it. I feel like, you know, it gets better every time I'm playing there. And it's something I'll never take for granted. SIU is good, but, you know, Mac is on a different level.
Fletcher, just what was film study like Saturday? And what did you guys take out of that? We'll go to the Northwestern game one more time.
Yeah, I'd say it was a lot more just focus on our defense and scouting report. I think we had a few mishaps that ended up going a long way with guys either getting to their sweet spots or guys coming off screens that we weren't supposed to let happen. And I think just kind of going into the night with more of a focus and more of a intended just outlook on our turnovers. We knew we had to take care of them to win, and we knew they're a team that can come back in that second half. So just getting that second half surge.
Fletcher, there was a stretch there in the first half, and really it was true throughout the game. It seemed like every 3 minutes you were getting back. Just if you were on the wrong end of that, how debilitating would that be as an opponent?
Oh, I mean, it's tough. It's a lot of big bodies down there. It's a lot of guys rebounding and getting it back out there, and it's something you got to just hit the guy for a go rebound. You're not trying to hit him to foul, but you're trying to hit him to bury him under the rim and try to get the ball.
Last one right there.
And then, you know, this can go to anyone really, but I assume that there were no balls thrown off the backboard in practice and then no suicides run. Just talk about that response, and I know you guys are pretty level-headed, but just, you know, talk about how you came out today and just dominated after losing that first one.
Go ahead, Fletcher.
I think it's just the mindset. Like Ethan was saying, you don't want to get too high, too low. It's a long season. You gotta stay steady. You gotta trust each other. You gotta believe in each other. I think going into practice next day, you got another Big Ten game. Whether it's bottom of the Big Ten team or top of the Big Ten team, you gotta get a win. And we want another win. And that's what we're fighting for right now.
Anything else?